check, 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 check. Yeah, let's go. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's turn it up a bit. Definitely make it. Yeah, you can turn the monitor off. That's fine. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit more actually. Yeah, let's go. Okay. I might just have to project a little bit. But anyways, welcome to this video, guys. So I usually will all right, so welcome to this video, guys. I usually will just make a thread or make a written tweet about whatever it is that is on my mind or I want to talk about. But today I'm going to try something different just for the sake of trying something different. So, we're on video today. Let's go, boys. We're so back. But honestly, like the topic of discussion, the thing that, the word of the week as I like to say, in the artist space, creator space. Actually, I feel like it's always just like a topic of conversation. It's just platforms. Like whether we're talking about digital streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, DSPs, the Web 2 kind of thing, or we're talking about Web 3 platforms like Sound.xyz, Zora, whatever it might be. Platforms are always in the topic of discussion with artists, with creators, and especially this past like week, couple weeks, month. I feel like it definitely, just been like popping up hella. And honestly, I think a big problem. So the question that we're posing this week is what's wrong with platforms? What's wrong with creator platforms, artist platforms? And there are some good ones, not to say like all platforms suck or something, but I think that there's a couple things here. So the first thing is that with platforms, I think that the most frustrating thing that is wrong with platforms is just not being honest about who and what they are, right? So why is it, I've been uploading music through DistroKid, shout out to DistroKid, it's been fine for me. To all, DSPs like Spotify. For example, we're going to talk about Spotify in specific. Why, I've been uploading music for 5 years through DistroKid to Spotify. Maybe even more than that, actually. Probably 2018 is when I started, so 6 years now. And why am I just now finding out that, Spotify is not, it is a streaming platform, but really Spotify is a marketing platform. Like the meta is that Spotify is a marketing platform. And maybe some of you guys have been hearing this or saying this lately, but I just feel like, just being honest and transparent about what is actually going on. What are your goals here? What are your actual, what are you actually trying to do? What you actually are is huge, because I don't want to wake up 6 years later feeling duped, thinking that, you Spotify were something that I didn't, that I didn't expect, right? It's not necessarily, for streaming music. It's mostly for just like passive, music fans, which is fine. Casual music fans, people use it for free, whatever, right? Artists get paid nothing from it, which is, has been a lot. I mean, I won't say nothing, but the streaming, royalties aren't very great. And yeah, well, whatever. But some people make it work, but whatever. Still, I'm just saying that, you know, I feel like it's clear that Spotify is marketed for the casual music listener, right? It's not a platform for artists necessarily. It's not a platform for the, super, like music fan or like really deep listener. It's just like anybody can find anything. It's like the Walmart of like music streaming. You know what I mean? And then you have other platforms which are different and they all have their own vibes. But I'm just saying that why not be honest about what you are? Like, why even make videos that are like cater or like fake like advice for artists or like whatever, like you guys actually care? Because it's clear and like the actions that Spotify is not an artist, like focused or centric platform necessarily. Like it's not built for artists. It's built for, maybe the artists that at the labels that they're colluding with, the huge fucking artists and yeah, but not like people like you and me that are independent artists that are just, putting stuff up. I mean, I don't know. There are some people that make it work, but I don't think it's for us. It definitely doesn't give built for artists. You know what I'm saying? And it's very clear, but I wish that they would just say that. That's really the problem. Just say that, you know? Um don't pretend, right? That's really the biggest thing that I'm here to say. Just that's wrong with platforms. That's the first thing, is just don't pretend about what you are and like what you're actually doing. And then the second thing would be, honestly, like, platforms are just a tool. They're literally just a tool. But they're betting on you as the artist that has the music, which is everything, right? Like, without the music, the platform doesn't really matter or exist. So, first of all, you have the power, right? As an artist. And shout out to Jamie Cornelia for bringing this up in our group chat. But yeah, like, artists, I think, need to realize their power. Like, we have so much power. Like, we decide what's cool. We decide where, like, things get seen or how they get, kind of like spread through culture. Like, we are really the people that bring people to the platforms. Like, the only reason that Spotify is because, the biggest fucking artist, Drake, fucking, Doja Cat, whoever the fuck is streaming the most, like, they're bringing Taylor Swift, like, if they're bringing the people to them because they want to find their music because they have a lot of fucking fans, right? But at the same time, if you take away Spotify, you still have the two core components that you need to make this thing work. You don't necessarily need the platform. You need the artist and you need the fan, the supporter, the subscriber, the streamer, right? That's all you need. And if you just cut out, you could literally just cut out Spotify entirely. If Taylor Swift and Drake decided to fucking, stop streaming on Spotify today and just have their own streaming platform that's direct to consumer, or their own whatever that's just direct to fans. I mean, they can't because they're signed to major labels now, but anyway, if they could, that would just fucking, that'd be fucking huge, right? That would decimate Spotify. That would decimate, if they decided to take all their music off of DSPs, that would fucking decimate them, right? So I don't think that platforms are necessary. You are the platform, like, that's the other thing. And this is directly to artists, really. You're the platform, and then the platforms, we don't need you, right? Like, we have our fans. It is a thing, I think discovery, like, Spotify is not for artists, but it is a marketing platform. You know what I'm saying? So it is a place where you can find new people, just like TikTok is a place where you can find new people, like to stream your music or to see your music or become supporters of your music or fans or whatever you want to call people. But I think we just got to be clear about what exactly is happening here, what exactly is the goal, what are you actually doing, and then also just like artists just realizing that we are the platforms, especially big fucking artists like that, but even down to independent artists that are doing their thing and have their group of fans, and also know how to distribute and make content on Instagram and TikTok and, things like that. Because you don't necessarily need Spotify even to find you new fans. Like, you could probably do it yourself through content, through just leveraging public fucking platforms that you can just post content on and then just have your fans that way. But obviously Spotify is awesome as well. But it's crazy because a lot of people that do go viral on TikTok or whatever, a lot of artists that I see that go viral on TikTok, they're directing their fans to Spotify. But imagine if they directed their fans to their own thing, right? But there is that kind of network effect, and I don't know. Maybe there is something to being in the Spotify algorithm that is still a boost. I'm not saying like take all your music off of Spotify, but I'm just saying that like the two core components, like the most important pieces are you, the artist, and the fan, or whatever you want to call the people that listen to your music. So we don't need platforms. So, but they can be useful. If they're useful to you, then why not? Use them as a tool. But hey, I think that if we just remember those two things, then maybe we could just start the conversation, just honestly start it from an honest place. So that's kind of what I'm saying today. The question this week, the word this week is platforms. The question that you guys picked, we ran a poll. There was like 40 votes or something on it. And the one that won for the topic headline, for the headline of the spaces that we're having Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, is going to be called What's Wrong with Platforms? Because that's the one that the people picked. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be picking platforms apart. And also just, brainstorming openly about how things can be better. Because that's really what we love to do as well when we ask these questions and just figure it out together. So, But yeah, if you made it to the end of this, you might as well DM me, and I will pop you in our private artist group chat. Or you can even send me, if you don't like group chats, you can send me your email. I have a newsletter that goes out every week. I'll be essentially putting what I said here into words and expanding on it a little bit more for the newsletter this week, before the spaces drops, before my threads drop on Twitter, my big long Twitter post. You guys will get my thoughts first. But yeah, that's it. Crash Road, gang, let's go.